I think sometimes we take photography a little bit too serious. Photography should be something fun, something that we like doing, something that we enjoy. When I started taking photographs, I had an old film camera, and then I grabbed that camera, I went outside to do street photography, and that was my first time doing this. I remember I was really afraid of what people were gonna tell me, if someone was gonna get angry at me, and nothing like this happened. I had a very good day, and it was just really nice. I still remember that feeling. It was such a nice feeling to be outside, to be walking, to be taking photographs of people, to be connecting with people. And I feel sometimes when you're doing this game for a long time, you ended up losing this. And this happened to me, because you started seeing work and you started learning, and also like you started doing for a long time, so it's not something new anymore. And I think when you start seeing another work and you want to improve and you want to get better and you start taking seriously, you kind of forget why did you start, or you kind of look at some bad photos that you take in a ugly way. I mean, in an ugly way, because I feel like even your bad photos sometimes, if they mean something to you, if there is something, there was a reason why you grabbed them. Sometimes they might not be a gallery photograph, or you might not want to show it to people, but it can be something that means to you. And I feel like if it means something to you, you should show to people anyway. If they like it or not, that's their problem. Not everyone understand each other or agree with like a photograph. Not everyone gonna look at your work or the stuff that you're capturing and be like, oh, this is amazing. And they don't have to do in the end of the day. It's just like a camera is supposed to be fun and supposed to grab your memories. And we do, like, I do use for work. I work as a photographer as well, and I take photos on the street and I document my life. So it's different. If I'm at work, I'll take very seriously and I'll try to make something very professional all the time. That's work. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about it is more like if you grab your camera and you're like, today I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna take photos. Or if you grab your camera and you're like, today I'm gonna document my family, we're gonna go to a nice place. Not all the time this needs to be a piece of art. Not all the time this needs to be something that you show to people. I see a lot of people online on Instagram that their goal is to get this Alex Webb type of photograph, with a lot of layering, all those things happening. And you can see that they're like trying and trying and trying. But sometimes I look at their work and I'm like, this doesn't look very real or fun. It looks more like a representation or a copy of something that they think is good. Does that make sense? I feel like it is so clear for me sometimes when I look at a photographer and I see their work online and I see themselves there. I see them like, sometimes it's even like there are people that I follow that they document their family. Sometimes it's like a good picture, a heart picture of their kids playing, and that's beautiful. It's simple. Sometimes, yeah, that's the word. I think simple. Simple is a good word. Sometimes a simple work, that's all you need. It's okay if you're trying to reach that look, like those layers, perfect exposure. That's okay. I try that too. I sometimes I go outside and I aim to get the best work I can. But that doesn't happen all the time. And I know that this can be very disheartening because you're gonna be in my head, that happened to me before, right? You're trying to get a look, a type of photograph that's very hard to make. And then you get frustrated because you're outside and then you're like trying and trying and trying and you're working hard. But those type of photographs, they're hard to make. So it's not gonna come like that easy. One more time, I'm not telling you to not do that work. I love that work. I love a good photograph. I have like books and stuff that I love looking at them and they're like masterpieces. But what I'm saying here is that a camera is not always need to be for a masterpiece. I think a camera can be sometimes to gather memories of your family, to gather memories of people you love. And that's very important, you know. When I was in Brazil last year, I took so many photos of my granny, you know. Like, as weird as sounds, she's not gonna be here forever, unfortunately, you know. And because I live in Ireland, I see her very few times. So, like, I want to document that woman. I love that woman. I want to have memories of her. I want to have happy memories of her. And I don't think my memory will remember everything that happened, you know. So I think, like, taking a lot of photographs of her will bring me back to that time. It will bring me back that feeling that she gave it to me to be around her. And that's for me is more important than being outside and getting a full layer photograph. And again, it's my granny, so that photograph might mean nothing to you. But for me, for part of my work, for part of like what is on my archive, that's highly important, you know. I want to have that photograph. So, like, get your camera, take photos of people you love, take photos of fun things, take photos of things that make you happy, you know, take photos of stuff that when you look back, you're gonna bring you back to a time, you know. So, like right now I'm in Lisbon, but like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like maybe in 2 years I'll be somewhere different. Maybe gonna move, maybe we're going to a different country. You never know, you know. I moved so many times in my life. So I wanna have a photo of that run, you know, because I'm here now. I'm talking to you. That's a place that I work all the time. So it's part of my life. And that's what I'm trying to say here. I I want to grab my camera and feel like it's a little bit more light, do you know? One other thing that helped me a lot, I've been doing YouTube now. It's been 1 year since I'm doing YouTube. Yeah, I 1 year. I can't believe it's time's really fast. But anyway, since I started doing YouTube, I've been documenting a lot of my life. Like I record a lot of stuff. I'm glued to my camera. When I'm not taking photographs, I'm making videos. And I have a lot of documentation in video now. And I love that. Sometimes when I go back, this week I was going back to my old videos and I was watching some of my old stuff. And some stuff's very cringy. But some other things are just nice to watch because it bring me back to that day, to how things were, or like I remember a feeling, I remember a place. You know, I watched a video where I was in Venice and that was my first time there and I was working so hard. I was producing this video to this artist and I was also trying to make YouTube and taking street photography. So it was like I was non-stop and I was like also drinking, so it was very busy. But I remember being very excited about the place, and then when I see the video, it's like all I talk about it is like how much I'm loving it, but at the same time how much I'm tired of it. You know, not of it, I'm tired. Yeah, I think it's even on the title of the video, something that like I'm tired. Like another example, so soon gonna be St. Patrick's Day, and every year I document St. Patrick's Day through photography and last year through video as well. Last year was really nice because I got a press pass, but I couldn't really walk with the parade, but I thought I could. And then like I have a video of me walking in the middle of the parade and it was just like I was amazed. Like it was just, how could that happen, you know? I've never imagined in my life me from Brazil being there in the middle of St. Patrick's Parade in the middle of Dublin with like the whole world around. So this is important to me, you know. Imagine in 5 years how much documentation of my life I'm gonna have. Imagine like when I'm old, you know, those things are gonna be very important. They might not be important to other people, but they are important to me and they might be important to yourself if you document your life. So just to close here, if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, don't forget about your surroundings, you know. Don't forget about your family, don't forget about your partner. Document everything around you. This is more important sometimes than taking a street photo, you know. This is more personal. This brings you back to a different place. And if you think about creating good work, there are plenty of people that created good work shooting just their family and their surroundings or like their work, you know, so you can make good work as well. is just different than what we see a lot on the internet, and I think is way more personal. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take photos every day.